When I review an episode of a TV show, I usually don't compare them to a movie because movies have a much more difficult job. So I usually would compare a whole season to a movie. But episode 8 of WandaVision is pretty good. Actually, it's more than that. It's pretty great. This is top tier MCU entertainment. It matches some of the better movies in the Marvel Universe. Now, it doesn't quite make the series overall at an A-list level, but wow, it was just great. And at the core of it, this episode is an origin story for Wanda. Like, we've had her origin explained, but it's all been words. Like, we feel for her and we see things happen to her. She's had a lot of good development over the series so far, but this episode just really dives into her past, like, really deep. Like, it makes so much sense now. Like, we understand what the whole idea of the sitcoms is all about. We now understand how Westview became this big old sitcom, and it all works so well. And a lot of the story in this episode clears up any preconceived notions or lies from the agents at Sword that were trying to frame Wanda for doing things that she didn't do. Her name is now being cleared up, but yet we're also finding out that she's not completely innocent of everything that is happening. She's actually the main cause, and it definitely was her. But what makes it so great is that this episode by far is the most emotional episode. It just like grasps you. I say that a lot. But when a good movie or a good TV show is working, it grasps your heart and just like really makes you care about the show. So if the 9th episode is able to maintain this and maybe even expand upon that, we're gonna have a really great finale. And I might just allow myself to say that the whole show as a whole was great, because I'm not always just technical about things. Even if the overall score that I've had build up so far doesn't quite get to the mid to high 90s, if the ending is good enough, an ending can change something that's only good and make it great. So if that's the case, I think WandaVision might in the end be rounding out my top 10 of favorite MCU properties so far. It's that good. And not only do we get backstory for Wanda Maximoff, but also for Agatha Harkness. She has a little bit of backstory there that was much needed, and we understand what her goal is and why she's there. And pretty much she's jealous of Wanda's power because, spoilers ahead, she is a witch from the 1600s, and she's been training and reading and trying to figure out all these spells and everything for like hundreds of years. And then you have Wanda, who is already more powerful than she ever was and ever probably will be. And that kind of like makes her angry. She wants to know how Wanda is so powerful, how she created the Westview anomaly. And what I also love about this episode is that it doesn't stray away from the idea of the sitcoms. It kind of does. It doesn't make it a sitcom, but it kind of like does a behind the scenes look while not doing like an actual behind the scenes look. Like Agatha takes Wanda through her past memories, and it's done through a viewpoint like a director would, like while he's filming a TV show. And that's honestly brilliant. It ties in to the way this series has been formulated so far. And I have to just bring up the origins. Seeing Wanda Maximoff as a kid just really deepens the relationship that she had with her brother and her parents, and it makes the events that happen much more real. And then you get a few little surprises in there, like the fact that Wanda already had power even before she got the power from the Mind Stone. And there's just a lot of interesting things. Also, if you haven't seen the episode, well, once again, spoilers, but the reason that the show so far has been playing out like sitcoms in the Westview anomaly, the Hex, is because Wanda, that was like her idea of a perfect life. Her and her family were watching the sitcoms in Sokovia in order to learn the English language better, and that's honestly pretty brilliant. I never would have thought of that, but it works so well. And even after all the tragedy, after their parents were blown up in the Stark bomb incident, she still continued watching the sitcoms. Even when she was testing under Hydra, she was still watching sitcoms in her little containment cell. She was watching sitcoms at the Avengers compound, and that's honestly where she started bonding with Vision. And that scene of her bonding with Vision is really good. And it, once again, it gets you in the heart. It is emotional. It just reinforces all of the emotion, all of the enjoyment and concern and care that you have for Wanda and Vision already. It just continues to solidify while also refreshing us on like where this all started. And it's pretty great. This is by far the best episode. I've been reflecting on some of the past episodes and wondering if some of them were really as good as I thought they were, or if some of them were better. So I'm a little bit shaky there. I might, in my final review of all 9 episodes, there might be some differentiation. I don't know yet. But as of now, episode 8 opened my eyes to how good this series technically should have been the whole time. It's great, don't get me wrong, but I think before it was leaning in way too much on the fun of the sitcoms and then honing in on a lot of mystery, but not really answering too many questions. It was going really slow, yet really quick. Like, we weren't getting enough information and we weren't getting enough story through, because the runtime of most of the episodes were really short. And that kind of held the show back a little bit. But even throughout some of the past episodes, there was a little bit of the emotion sprinkled in. I think emotionally, some of the best stuff we got was in episode 5. And I give that an 88%, which is lower than episode 6 and 7. And I'm starting to think that maybe after seeing all 3 of those episodes, that maybe I was wrong, that episode 5 is better than the other 2, and that maybe episode 7 isn't quite as good. But then I keep reminding myself there was so many good things that I loved in episode 6 and 7 that I didn't quite get in episode 5. So it's like a back and forth thing. And what I think episode 8 does is it balances it. It gives us the emotion while also giving us that that Marvel cinematic feel where we have all the superpowers and we're finding out the secrets behind government agents or like the magic behind things, and like getting like deeper into the plot while also getting much deeper into the emotion of the characters. And that's what most of these episodes so far have failed to do in any extreme way. They've been short, they've been quick, they've been fun, they've been clever, they've had surprises throughout, and some good little emotional moments and messages in there. But episode 8 easily takes the cake and is just pretty great. I give episode 8 of WandaVision a 95% for an overall season score of 87%. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to help you be on the lookout for more videos from Luke Filmboss.